there! Thinking about buying a home in Florida? Maybe somewhere close to Weston, West Broward, this area. Before you start scrolling through listings and touring open houses, let's talk. I've helped dozens of buyers avoid big mistakes, and I've seen others learn the hard way, unfortunately. So in this video, I am breaking down the 5 common and costly home buying mistakes and what you can do to stay clear of them. My name is Natalia Echeverri. I'm a real estate advisor here in Weston, and my goal is to help you make smarter, stress-free real estate moves. I will be explaining the mistakes, and I will give you my 2 cents on each of them for you to really understand my point. Mistake number 1, not getting pre-approved first. This is a huge one. You'll be surprised how many buyers skip the pre-approval and just start shopping. Pre-qualification is not enough. You want to be pre-approved before you start shopping, especially in a competitive market like South Florida in general. So it shows the seller that you are serious, and it protects you from a heartbreak, really. And if it turns out the budget doesn't quite match the dream home, or you fall in love with a home, we write an offer and then the lender says, sorry, you're not approved for this amount. Imagine, that's just like devastating. For example, one of my buyers, we found a stunning 4-bedroom home in Weston Hills. Everything was perfect. We submitted an offer without the pre-approval. It wasn't my advice. I was very clear with them, but sometimes, you get stubborn and you want to do things your way. They told me to send the offer and that in the meantime, they would just get that pre-approval. No big deal, right? Unfortunately, someone, another buyer that was pre-approved just swooped in and got the home. So the lesson, pre-approval is not optional. It's your ticket to play. It's your way in front of the line, and that's how you start a negotiation. And by the way, if you need a trusted local lender, which is ideal, I got you covered. Let me know. I can connect you with an amazing one. Mistake number 2, forgetting about the closing costs. Everyone thinks about the down payment, but that is not only what you need to think about. You need to think about the closing cost. In Florida, those can run between 2 and 5% of the purchase price, which adds up fast. I understand we get excited and we just want to make things happen really quick, but this is not something that you can postpone. I want you to understand that when you buy a house, at least with my advice, I want you to be comfortable with the house overall, right? And the neighborhood, but my main goal is your peace of mind financially. For instance, I give you an example. I had a first-time buyer budgeting $20K for their down payment on a almost $400,000 for home. But when the title fees, insurance, escrow, taxes came in, they were short almost $9,000. Fortunately, we worked it out at the end, but it was very stressful and could have been avoidable. So make sure you know the full picture early. I use an app that gives you real-time buyer estimates. If you want, I can just help you with that. Mistake number 3 is skipping the home inspection. Sometimes we get tempted to waive the inspection to win probably a house, but please don't, okay? I get it. When the market is hot, buyers feel the pressure to just maybe skip the inspection just to win the deal, just to make it more appealing. But even on brand new construction homes, inspections can catch things that we don't see, like in the real life. I had clients find issues with the air conditioner, the plumbing, things that are not cheap, but a few $100s for an inspection will avoid all this. Even a house that looks in perfect conditions can have hidden issues. A buyer of mine wanted to skip the inspection on a renovated home in Savannah. I convinced them to spend the $400, and thank God we did. The inspector found signs of previous water damage behind the kitchen wall. It turned out to be an easy fix, and the seller agreed to credit the $5,000. Without that inspection, they would have paid that out of pocket later. Imagine. So, pro tip, always hire a licensed inspector. I can help you with referrals if you need. I have amazing people all the time. Mistake number 4, not understanding the HOA, the Homeowners Association. So in Florida especially, in Weston, most communities have Homeowners Association fees. Here in Weston and in many parts of Florida, this is super common, right? Sometimes there's other fees like CDD fees, but here in Broward County, it's just an HOA. They're not necessarily bad. They maintain the communities, the amenities, the security, but it's important to understand. They help you maintain the neighborhood and the value, but they also come with rules and monthly costs. I've seen buyers fall in love with a home only to back out because they didn't realize the HOA was like $600 a month or something like that. Or they find out that the rental restrictions, the landscaping rules, they don't work for them. So always ask for the Homeowners Association documents before you get too emotionally attached. They help maintain the neighborhood, but sometimes they're a little too much and maybe you're not okay with that, right? So in that case, I had a couple that bought a gorgeous townhome. Then they realized the homeowner associations didn't allow commercial vehicles overnight. The husband was a contractor and his work van didn't fit the garage. So they end up having to rent storage nearby. So that's something that you don't want to find out after you moved in. Always review the HOA documents, with your real estate agent. Super important, is a super tip. Number 5, going straight to the listing agent. This is the last one and the most common misunderstanding. I know it sounds convenient on your eyes, but you see a sign, you call the number, and boom, you're in touch with the listing agent. But here's the thing, that agent works for the seller. Their job is to get the seller the best deal, not you, because they already signed an agreement with them. As a buyer, you deserve someone in your corner, someone who knows your budget, your timeline, your concerns, and protect your interests. And the best part, in most cases, having a buyer agent won't cost you a thing. The sellers typically cover the commission. Most of the cases, that's something new, but when you see a home online, you call the number, that listing agent is representing that person in their best interest. Their price, their conditions, they know the good and the bad about the house, and that cannot be disclosed with you. A buyer I met worked directly with a listing agent on a home they bought in the Ridges. They later realized that the home had been overpriced, but by then they had no one negotiating on their behalf, no one to protect them. With a buyer agent, they could have somehow, find the comparables, running, all the houses available, the ones that sold, etc., at no extra cost. So remember, buyer representation is usually covered by the seller, so there's no downside to having someone on your corner. Think about it. Everything can go wrong for you. If you're buying in Weston or anywhere in Broward, I would love to help you with that. So those are the top 5 buyer mistakes And I promise if you avoid this, you're already ahead of the game. So I want to do a little quick recap. Number 1, get pre-approved before shopping. Number 2, budget for closing costs, not just the down payment. Number 3, never skip inspection. Number 4, understanding your homeowners association and restrictions. Number 5, work with your own agent. Don't go straight to the listing agent. And if you're thinking about buying this year or next year, whether in Weston or anywhere nearby, I offer free buyer consultations. You can just click down below and we have a 30 minutes conversation. I can help you with anything. I can help you personalize your search, access tools for closing costs, and I would love for you to download the relocation guide. I also have a buyer's guide, all kind of guides, so I can help you with that as well. So listen, thank you so much for being here with me today, and I hope to see you next week.